So this is a video about taxes, so obviously taxes are the big thing, aren't they? You end up paying a lot less in Bulgaria than you are paying in your home country for sure, in terms of taxes and social security contributions combined. But it's not only about taxes. Bulgaria is also a decent place to live in, so you may end up even liking it here. When you consider taxes in Bulgaria, there are two main benefits. The first one, obviously, is that the tax is quite low, so you end up paying just 7.5% of your income in terms of taxes. To be fair, it's even less than this, but let's stick with 7.5%. And the other big benefit is that in Bulgaria we don't have progressive taxes. We have a flat tax, so it's not like the more you earn, the more you pay as a percentage of your income. It's always going to be 7.5%. So regardless of whether you earn €1 per year or 1 million euro per year, you still end up paying just 7.5%. Yes, it's not only about tax. You do really need to account for social security contributions, and at first glance they may sound quite high, because if I have to give you a percentage, it's 30.5% of your income. But this doesn't tell the whole story, because there is an absolute amount in Bulgaria that you can pay in terms of social security contributions on a monthly basis. And this maximum is currently around €700. So it doesn't matter if you make €2,000 or €20,000 per month, you'll be paying the same amount in terms of social security contributions, which is just €700. Yes, we are prepared with examples for the purpose of the video, and maybe this one illustrates it the best. Now, imagine you earn €2,500 per month. This will result in social security contributions and taxes combined of around 28% of your monthly income. But if you earn twice this amount, so if you earn €5,000 per month, then you end up paying less than 20% of your income as a combined taxes and social security contributions. It is fairly bureaucratic to register as a freelancer, but it's also not that complicated. Now, there are certain steps that you need to go through. So, first one is a residence permit. If you want to stay in Bulgaria for more than 3 months, you need a residence permit. So, this is basically your ID as a foreign citizen in Bulgaria. The next step is registering as a freelancer. This one is fairly simple, it's done in 1 day, but you need to register in a certain register for freelancers. Then, finally, you need to also register with the National Revenue Agency for the purpose of social security contributions. So you need to be part of the national insurance system, and in some cases you may also need to register for VAT. It's not that you need to charge VAT. In most cases you don't need to charge it, but you need to register for VAT if you have clients in the EU. Now, it may not be client, it may be your employer who wants to hire you under not an employment agreement, but rather a contractor agreement. And if this client/employer is based in a new country, you need to register for VAT in Bulgaria. Now, the reason is not that you charge the VAT, but the reason is that you need to apply the reverse VAT charge mechanism in the EU, which means that the recipient of the service and of the invoice respectively is the one that needs to account for VAT in their own country. It's called reverse VAT charge mechanism. But in order for this mechanism to work, you need a valid VS number, a valid VAT ID. And in order to get this, you need to register for VAT with the National Revenue Agency. As a freelancer, you have monthly obligations, you have quarterly obligations, and you have annual obligations. It's not as complicated as it seems. On a monthly basis, you need to file your filings for Social Security and for VAT. On a quarterly basis, you pay your taxes in Bulgaria as a freelancer, and on an annual basis, you file your annual taxes for everything. This is just the final big tax filings that you do on an annual basis. Yes, in theory, you could do your filings yourself. You could also go through all the registrations yourself. It's not super complicated, but There is a reason why you want to hire someone to do it for you, because it is bureaucratic. Can we do it for you? Yes, we can. Like, otherwise, we wouldn't be making this video. TaxMonkey does offer all of these services. We can handle all the registration initially, and we can also handle your monthly tax filings, regardless if you are registered for VAT or not. First of all, there are no licenses in Bulgaria for doing work as a freelancer. You only need to handle the registration that we spoke about, and in general you can handle everything in around 2 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks is going to be more than enough. You need to be present in Bulgaria, at least for the start of the procedure, for the residence permit, but apart of that, you may also do everything remotely. Yes, you could register a company also, like it's most likely going to be a limited liability company, that's what you read about on the internet. But it doesn't really make that much sense financially to do it. You just end up paying more. Now, a company pays corporate tax, which is 10%, and on top of it, after you pay the corporate tax, you still need to distribute the money to yourself in some way, and it's gonna go with another tax, which is most likely gonna be dividend tax, that is gonna be 10% in 2026. A part of it, a company is just harder to maintain, and by harder I mean more expensive. So everything is more expensive for a company. So you need to have an office for the company, you need to have an accountant that's going to cost more for a company. You end up regretting it. It's much better to just do your freelancing as a freelancer.